All right guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. So if you have problems with your forearms, there's a lot of things you can do to kind of update them. Sometimes the traditional wrist curl just doesn't work for everyone, myself included. So I've had to find a workaround in order to make the exercise work for me. So basically what I recommend you do is, instead of doing wrist curls where you have your wrist here, you drop and do this, a lot of people like to do release their fingers and come back up. Now, when you do this, you're hitting two different groups of muscles. You're not actually hitting the flexors, but there are digit flexors as well as wrist flexors, and they're both hypertrophied differently. In order to get really good wrist flexors, you need to focus on movements that only do this, not the wrist flexion, just digit flexion, which is this. So if you want bigger forearms, you're gonna have to do digit flexion and wrist flexion, but I would focus on one over the other at any specific time. So when you're doing a forearm exercise, you wanna be doing one or the other. So you either wanna be doing only wrist or digit flexion and then only doing wrist flexion. You don't wanna combine them because that's gonna decrease your strength for your overall forearms. It's going to throw tension all over the place, and you want to isolate it in order to make them grow. So what I recommend doing is an exercise that I've created. Now, I haven't seen anyone else do this exercise, so I'm going to be giving it to you to hear today. So what you want to do is you take your dumbbell. I've got a 15-pound here, and I've been doing this a lot to increase grip strength, to increase forearm size and mass, and it works wonders. So you take your forearm, and before we get started, I want you to take your hand in a pronated position like you're about to do a push-up, and then I want you to bend your wrist. Now, as you're doing that, feel the bottom of your forearm. You feel that? Nice and hard. Now, when you do a wrist flexion like this, I don't really get a ton of activation. It's not very hard. It's actually kind of squishy. But when I do this up, it is hard as a boulder. So basically what you want to do is you want to combine the movement. So you want to start with your dumbbell, pronated, down in front of you, and then as you're coming up with it, flex down like this. So come up, flex down, and you can actually feel this deep within the belly of the muscle. So to do reps, it would look like this. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm focusing on bringing this down as hard as I can and then coming up with it. And that gives the nastiest contraction. That's how I built my forearms. That's how I recommend you guys build yours. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'll talk to you soon.